Has the Biden administration been so soft on Iran? If we know Iran is funding Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, their surrogates in Syria, their surrogates in Iraq, why has President Biden's administration been so soft on them? Well, do they just think love is the answer and that this isn't a bar fight?
Hey folks, welcome back to Next Gen. Today, we're diving into a fiery debate in U.S. foreign policy. Senator John Kennedy has been grilling the Biden administration on why they've been so soft on Iran. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop on all things politics. Let's get started. So, Senator Kennedy has been questioning witnesses about Iran's support for terrorist groups like Hamas. Hamas, which controls Gaza, is responsible for a lot of violence in the region. And interestingly, they get backing from countries and organizations worldwide, including Qatar, the Palestinian Authority, and even the United Nations. Kennedy didn't hold back. He pointed out that the UN, despite its humanitarian mission, is financially aiding Gaza. This aid, meant for hospitals and schools, indirectly supports Hamas because they control the region. Imagine that, the UN unintentionally helping Hamas run Gaza.
Hamas runs Gaza, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And lots of people help Hamas, don't they?
There are people who help. There are lots of people in Gaza who oppose Hamas as well.
Well, Qatar sends Hamas $10 million a month to run the place, does it not?
It has.
The Palestinian Authority, which the people of Gaza rejected in favor of Hamas, pays Gaza's electricity bill. They keep the lights on for Hamas, don't they?
Well, to be clear, the people of Gaza didn't reject the Palestinian Authority. Hamas took over with force of arms.
I don't want to debate that.
Yeah, there's not much to debate.
Yes,
the Palestinian Authority does provide salaries to its people in Gaza.
Does the Palestinian Authority pay for the keeping the lights on in Gaza?
They pay for some of it, yes.
The UN sends Hamas money to educate the children, does it not?
The UN pays for some education in Gaza. They do that through their own agencies.
Is that a yes?
They provide the money into Gaza, yes.
I'll take that as a yes. The UN gives Hamas money to run hospitals, does it not?
The UN runs hospitals in Gaza too, yes.
And in fact, doesn't Hamas tax at the rate of 16.5% every bit of food and aid that comes in to Gaza?
They do tax everything. I don't know the exact percent.
Hamas levies a tax on even fish caught, does it not?
They tax everything.
And Hamas also levels an income tax, does it not?
That too.
Okay. President Biden's administration has not enforced the sanctions on Iranian oil, on Iranian oil, has it?
No.
Okay. So you agree with Ms. I'm sorry, I can't see you. Pletka. So you agree?
I tend to make it a policy to try to agree with Ms. Pletka whenever possible.
Yeah. Well, you're smart. You told us you were smart. President Biden has not chosen to impose the snapback sanctions under the JPCOA, has he?
Correct.
Okay. Ms. Pletka, who has the $6 billion?
It's in a bank in Qatar.
Okay. So Qatar has control of it.
In essence, that is correct, although...
Well, let me put it this way. If the Qatar bank, there's a Qatar bank. If Qatar tells them to do something and the United States tells them not to do something, who's the bank going to listen to?
Well, that is the question before us right now.
Who's the bank going to listen to?
Qatar, their government.
Okay. And isn't it a fact that back in 2021, Treasurer Yellen, through special drawing rights at the International Monetary Fund, gave Iran $4.5 billion?
That's what I understand, yes.
And she'd like to give them more.
That's what I understand, yes.
That's like cash money. It's really a dividend. You can cash in for U.S. dollars. Is that right?
That's what I understand.
Wow. It seems to me that we could cut off Hamas, or at least to go a long way toward doing that by actually just enforcing the things that we already say we're enforcing.
Every authority that is necessary to cut off Iran, Hamas, and every other terrorist group is already in the president's hands. The question is never whether the president can, it's whether the president will.
Well, why has the Biden administration been so soft on Iran? If we know Iran is funding Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, their surrogates in Syria, their surrogates in Iraq, why has President Biden's administration been so soft on them?
Well,
do they just think love is the answer, and that this isn't a bar fight, and that, I mean, it just looks to me like this administration is quoting Socrates in the middle of a prison riot.
Kennedy's tough questioning highlights serious flaws in U.S. foreign policy. If the U.S. wants real change, it's time to enforce those sanctions and hold Iran accountable. That's it for today's video. What do you think? Is the Biden administration doing enough to stop Iran's funding of terrorist groups? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to hit that next-gen subscribe button. See you next time.